I took the slow path into ketosis. If I were to do it again, I would just go hardcore. I'd probably fast for a day straight.
All right, it's 43 hours in. It's a little bit past halftime on the Ohio State-Michigan game. Give me a 1.0, please. I mean, seriously, let's do this. There we go. All right, we're in.
Welcome to PricePlow.
What's happening, PricePlow Nation, and all you biohackers out there wondering how long does it take to get into ketosis? My name is Mike Roberto, and I'm the founder and CEO of PricePlow. So today is November 22nd of 2018. It is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And as you saw in the pre-intro, I'm about to eat my words. Back in 2017, about the summer, I was on the KetoConnect podcast. I think I was like episode 7 or so, and we were talking about supplements for keto dieters. And that's typically what I was doing at the time. In 2017, I was doing a lot of blood testing on the keto diet. I basically told them, hey, if I ever need to get back into ketosis, I'm just gonna not eat. Because it was a bit of a struggle for me to really figure out how to do it properly. So I was like, I'm just gonna not eat for a while, and then that's how I'm eventually gonna get myself to ketosis. Well, time for me to eat my words without eating, because here we are, it is November of 2018, and it's time for me to go heavy into round 2. But I do need to get into ketosis to do some of the blood tests that I did promise some people that I would do. And so it is time to do it, and it's time to do it right. We're gonna be tracking calories and everything. But as of right now, I've had a full day of eating. I actually just finished 3 scoops of protein for this review here, so you can check our channel for that. And we're gonna test my blood sugar levels, and we're gonna see it. I stopped eating at 9 p.m. on November 22nd, Central Time. And we're gonna see how long it takes for me to get into ketosis. Now, technically, ketosis is 0.5 millimole per liter of ketones, beta-hydroxybutyrate, as measured by, I use the Precision Extra here, and I use the Abbott strips. And this is actually a blood glucose strip. We know I have no ketones right now. So we do have the other strips for the ketones that we'll start measuring. I'm guessing I have a pretty high blood sugar level, and we're gonna see how long it takes. Now, I do need to tell you that over the past few weeks, I'm typically a very low-carb dieter as it is, and I think with my fasting, I do like to do a 16-8 fast when possible. I probably have been dipping into a little bit of ketosis, so I am relatively fat adapted, and I never really lost that from 2017 too much. So it might be faster for me than other people, but this is gonna be a good little guideline for me to say, okay, well, it takes me, what, 36 hours or so, or whatever it may be, to actually get into ketosis. So 0.5 is the level that people shoot for. To me, that actually didn't cut it. I didn't have like the keto energy until I start seeing like 0.8. 1.0 I think should be my goal, but 0.8 is I think where it's cool for me to like start doing some blood tests and stuff. So I'm gonna basically shoot for 1.0 here in this experiment. How long does it take me from 9 p.m. through whatever to get to 1.0 millimoles per liter on the Abbott Precision Extra? So that's all. That's the whole story here of this video, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun with it, and then we start doing our experiments. We're gonna be testing a bunch of different supplements, a bunch of different foods, and the whole goal is, and I'll tell you more about this in the next video. The whole goal is for me to find the perfect diet for me, and maybe others can possibly use that as a baseline for them. I do like being in ketosis because of the cognitive energy, not necessarily the weight loss support, even though I think that is a huge thing. You know, save it for another video. That's gonna be something you can subscribe to, and we'll talk about that later, because I do have a lot of lessons learned from 2017. The full story is that we had our baby, and I don't know, keto just kind of went by the wayside as I was sleep deprived and craving too much chocolate chips and having the occasional beer. So, kind of curious what my blood sugar level is going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be like 170 right now. I had a lot of sweet potato today. I did have some dessert. So this is going to be me on a good, nice high note. And I just had 3 protein shakes. Each one had 11 carbs in it. So here we go. Get used to that beep sound, because we're going to be doing this a lot. 108. Okay, maybe I've been more low blood sugar than usual. All right, well, I am guessing I'm at 0.0 ketones. I might as well just use a strip and test while we're at it. Let's start this thing off right. 108 is way lower than I thought. Maybe these plant protein powders, this thing's got sugar in it, but it's got 11 carbs. I had 3 scoops of the 11 carbs, only 2 grams of sugar, 4 grams of fiber, so 7 active carbs. I just had 20 carbs, and that's gonna be part of the things. How many carbs can I sneak in while staying in ketosis, especially with working out? And even more importantly, can I instead, because I think it's more important for me, can I instead use a glucose disposal agent such as Outbreak Nutrition's Adapt there and spike in some extra protein. Try to catch the gluconeogenesis. That's my overall goal. All right, so what's my ketone level starting off? I'm already at 0.2. Okay. So this is, wow, I've been carrying ketones this whole time, I guess. I think I'm more fat adapted than I thought. This video is gonna kind of suck for someone who's really wondering how to get into keto, because I guess I've been, even despite all the sweet potato I've been eating, I've been kind of at least holding a few ketones. I might be able to do this within just a day of not eating. So I wanna be at 1.0. Let's see how long it takes for me to like get into the shift, but I think I'm more fat adapted than I already thought. So I think here's the strategy here. This video might apply to someone who's been like low carb paleo dieting or like Atkins style diet. I think my diet lately has been more Atkins than anything else, but like a low carb, high protein type diet. And now you really want to go into high fat mode. That was one of the issues, is if you need to be in ketosis, it's a high freaking fat diet. Like, you eventually need to either, or just not eat. You know, you starve yourself like I want to. But you need to be a high fat dieter. And that's one thing that I don't do when I'm like kind of not tracking my macros. I basically just do moderate to high protein, very low carb, and then I don't always eat enough. And that's part of the problem. That's why we're going to be tracking. Anyway, so it is 9:30 right now, 30 minutes in, I'm at 0.2 ketones already, so this is not as good of an experiment as I thought. 108 blood sugar level. We'll check in tomorrow morning. I'm gonna get some blood tests done as well, and then the whole experiment begins. Over the weekend, we're gonna get fat, and I'm gonna get like more fat adapted. I know it takes some weeks, but it's clear that I'm pretty, already able to produce ketones pretty easily. And then begins the fun. So subscribe to the channel, check out my keto playlist. I got some stuff on the channel from before. It's got a lot of views, like when I showed the creatine monohydrate for keto dieters. If you're not eating a ton of beef, even though I think you should, I'm kind of becoming more on the carnivore side of things. Anyway, creatine monohydrate powder right here does not affect my ketones, at least, and it shouldn't affect yours whatsoever. No reason not to take 5 or even 10 grams of the stuff if you're not eating enough beef. Anyway, that's the kind of video we're gonna do, plus a lot more. We'll see you about 12 hours from now. All right, good morning, folks. It is 9 a.m., so we're 12 hours in. I was at 108 and 0.2 last night, so let's see, starting with blood sugar, where I'm at. I would assume that I've dropped a little bit. Things, of course, fluctuate. One thing I wanted to say is, because this is my experiment, I am going to continue doing caffeine, but I'm not doing any drinks whatsoever. Not even like, no powder mixes at all. So basically just caffeine pill or a fat burner type thing. Does that screw the experiment? Yep, but that's my experiment, and I'm a caffeine addict. I'm not gonna lie, I need it. And I did tell my wife that throughout this experiment, if it did go like multiple days, which I don't think it will, I said I was gonna be delightful. So me being delightful requires caffeine at this junction, especially if I'm not eating. All right, so we'll have to figure out how close I can hold this without it getting blurry. I'm at 113. I actually am higher. That's funny. Things fluctuate, of course, but I am actually higher than I was before last night. And so maybe all that plant protein I ate in my review kind of finally kicked in. I am hungry right now, I'll tell you that. So I don't know what's circulating, but I've been cheating on the fast a little bit lately, as I knew I was like, kind of in the end of my non-experimenting phase. So I've been cheating on the fast, and now I'm paying for it because I am hungry, and my body's been used to eating a little bit earlier than usual. Now the 16-8 cycle that I do, the 16-8, what is it, intermittent fasting timeline that I do, it kind of shifts around. Honestly, it shifts around with the baby's sleep schedule. So okay, I'm still at 0.2 ketones, 12 hours in. I've pretty much not moved. I think my body's been working on digesting some of those plant proteins, which I think a couple of them might be a little bit slower in the one that I've been reviewing. So I think we're gonna title this kind of like, how long does it take a low carb dieter, which is what I've been, to go from low carb to ketosis? And it's gonna be greater than 12 hours because we are still going. I will check back in maybe around 6 hours. And also, if I do work out, we will test right after I work out, because I know like blood sugar will go up when you work out. Your body's gonna produce some of its own blood sugar, and that's been shown. Peter Attia, he actually does a lot of crazy experiments where he fasts for days, and when he trains, his blood sugar goes up. Your body is able to make it even if you haven't been eating for a while. That's all I have to say. So we will check back in in maybe another 6 hours or so and see what's up. All right, we are back. It is we are 16 hours in. Now this is the reason I'm going to do this blood test right here is because a lot of people do a 16-8 fast, And I normally do as well. So now at this point we can kind of consider like, hey, if you're a low carb, or general paleo kind of dieter, not totally tracking your macros, but you do like to do the 16-8 split, where does mine, this is always for me, of course, but where do things kind of end up? What kind of blood sugar and ketone levels are we at? And so I still have a high blood sugar level. Like 98 after 16 hours of fasting is kind of pathetic. And that's why this stuff works for me, because once I get in, it starts to plummet. I fall off the cliff eventually, but it takes me a while and it takes a long time to clear out. And the whole reason of doing this, there's a whole lot of science behind intermittent fasting, and we can get into a lot of that. But you got to give your insulin clearing enzymes chances to do some of their secondary functions. If they're sitting here dealing with insulin all the time, or if your digestive system is sitting here dealing with digestion all the time, it's not going to get to any of its secondary functions. So we're always eating, our bodies are always digesting and not doing anything else. We're like constantly fighting the same fight, stuck in the same rut, and simply just shuttling blood sugar around. There's other things that we need to do. And some of those things are very important for the brain, such as clearing out amyloid plaques. And that's where we get into the whole type 3 diabetes situation, where there's theories on Alzheimer's and dementia really being like kind of type 3 diabetes because our systems have never had the chance. I'm moving slow. So our systems have never had the chance to clear things out, to clear out like these amyloid plaques. That's one of the theories here. And it's a theory that I personally subscribe to. So anyway, right now, 16 hours fasted, and I am at still 98 blood sugar levels. So those protein shakes and the Thanksgiving dinner must have hit me slowly, but also I have a 0.3 ketones. So I do have some ketones circulating. Ketones are therapeutic. This is like, I'm in a decent state, but if you're just a like regular, let's say 100 carbs a day kind of person doing a 16-8 fast, you're gonna get, I believe, you're gonna get some help because the blood sugar is slowly gonna go down. And there are therapeutic benefits of having some ketones once in a while, like let your mitochondria flip over to this other mode. However, normally, right now is when I would have stopped fasting and I would start eating. And at that point, I'm most likely gonna have too much protein or too many carbs or something like that, just not enough fat, and then my ketones are gonna go back down. So we kind of, it's good to be in this state, and I think it's healthy. It's better than what a lot of people end up getting into if you do subscribe to the fact that ketones are therapeutic, or just simply removing blood sugar is a good thing. If you subscribe to that, then good. We've kind of done that. Although 98 blood sugar is still not that great for me, we've gotten to that phase. And then you can repeat and rinse, and you're gonna have some health benefits from that. Also, I've been pretty well focused this morning, although I am hungry and I'm annoyed, and like right now is when I'm ready to really eat. But at the same time, I think we can go further. 0.3 ketones, I'm gonna get into no man's land for a little bit. I'm gonna have, well, first off, I haven't tested any of my electrolytes or any of that, but we're gonna have no energy from blood sugar because I'm gonna deplete that, and I don't have much in the terms of glycogen stores in my muscles or anything anyway, or in my liver, so I'm gonna deplete that pretty quickly, and I'm still not moving a lot of ketones around in my bloodstream, so it's gonna get a little bit tired. And when some low-carb dieters do this, I have a feeling that you're kind of in no man's land for too long. So we gotta kind of choose one or the other, in my opinion. Like, am I gonna go all in with a bunch of carbs and just like try to like not fall on the roller coaster and try to manage it properly? Or can I do this better with a keto-based diet, or possibly a cyclical kind of high protein and then a keto diet? And that's where I'm planning on going. Anyway, we are 0.3, we are 16 hours in. I need to get deeper. I'm thinking this is gonna be at least a 24-hour thing, but it's gonna be even more. And so just drinking water for now, and I haven't needed much caffeine at all, which is pretty cool. It's usually after I eat, which is right about now. I always overdo it at the 16-hour mark because I'm all excited about eating, and then I start crashing. Right now, hopefully I can just ride it out and not have a crash because I'm not gonna be eating anything. So there we are. We'll see you in a little bit. This video is gonna end up being long. Oh well. Okay, so here we are at the 24-hour mark. I've made it. Feeling good overall. So what happened today? I've actually done a lot less caffeine than normal. I didn't have like the roller coaster that I sometimes get myself on. I've had 350 milligrams of caffeine a day, which is like nothing for me, sadly, lately. I've been more around 600 usually, but I did have a little crash at 4 p.m., which was like the 19-hour mark, and I took a mini nap, but there was not much time for that. And then everything else, I'm just a little bit dog tired from from just dealing with our daughter trying to get her to bed. But overall, like I feel light, and that is actually the case. Is I forgot to mention I weighed 189 pounds when starting this. I am down to 185. I've lost 4 pounds, and it was actually 189.5 to 189.5 to 1. Whoa, I'm having some problems here. 189.5 to 185.5. That was pathetic. Man, yeah. So yeah, we've been fighting our daughter to get her to go to bed, but she eats so much food. It's like crazy. And so I can talk about that later. But she's actually kind of convincing me, and she doesn't speak. But she is one of the reasons that I do want to test carnivore. I've seen how much meat this kid can put down is like something. It's inspiring almost. It's crazy. So blood sugar level, I'm thinking that I have to be pretty, somewhere lower at this point. And I have to be at 0.5 ketones, I think, for where I've been. 96. I'm insulin resistant. There's something wrong with me. Holy hell. Okay, well, either way, I wasn't going to eat tonight anyway. I was thinking about doing my vitamins. The one thing I have been craving, so we're feeding our daughter salmon, and I really wanted that. That was the one thing. I'm not craving carbs at all or anything, but I'm craving the salty stuff. I'm thinking about like bacon. I'm thinking about that salmon. I'm thinking about the more savory. And so I'm thinking if I were to do this again, first off, I should be drinking more water. I don't think I've drank enough water, but I often supplement with low salt, potassium salt, and I probably should have been doing that as well. So now it's time to test the ketones. I should have been taking some low salt as well, but I went like completely raw water only today. And so we're 24 hours in. No matter what happens, I'm probably gonna have some low salt before bed. Hey, all right, 0.7. I am in technically in ketosis. Like I said, I wanted to get to 1.0, so at 24 hours, I have gotten into ketosis. It's probably around 22 or so. That's when I started noticing, like I took a sip of water and I noticed the taste in my mouth and I was like, oh, there they are. I think those are the ketones. So probably around 22 hours is how long it takes me as a low carber to get technically into ketosis. However, like I've said, I eventually I'm gonna flush out this blood sugar, I think, and then I'm gonna be kind of in no man's land unless I keep pounding up the ketones. So I think that's gonna happen overnight. I'm gonna have a little bit of low salt with some water, and then we're gonna hit the sack a little bit early. But overall, like just not being on the energy roller coaster is already something that I kind of missed, and I was getting caught into doing it, and I need to not do it with protein later on. So we're gonna have one more wrap up tomorrow morning, and then we're gonna kick right into a food review or something like. I don't think I'm fully fat adapted, so it's gonna be maybe a screw around video. I don't want to like do an official supplement review until I think until next week when I'm really ready. But maybe we'll see how much bacon I can eat and stay in ketosis, something like that. So stay tuned. We'll check in tomorrow morning and see where I'm at. But basically, 24 hours has been a good spot for me to just simply knock it out. And I still, if you saw my blood sugar, still 98. It's not good. I think I do have some insulin resistance problems, and that's why I'm very, very successful once I really get into ketosis. And I think it's going to be a 36-hour mark or so tomorrow morning when finally I should have a good fasted blood sugar level. Also, stress can increase things, and I'm not totally stressed, but having to go up and down and try to get our daughter to bed and all that, that can possibly elevate blood sugar levels. But I did not work out. I did want to say that I didn't work out today. I went outside and I actually pulled weeds. So a little bit of gardening, and it's oftentimes therapeutic. It was so nice outside. It was like crazy sunny. So I had to do that because it's the end of November and we still have good weather. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, welcome aboard. We are finally back, but I want to get a little bit more. We'll see ya. All right, biohackers, it's 36 hours later. It's 9 a.m. the day after or whatever. Got my bed head and everything ready to go. So I'm down to 183.5 pounds, which is 6 pounds of water and glycogen and some fat lost. I've definitely flattened out. I feel it in my muscles, but also my midsection. And overall, I took a 200 milligram caffeine pill. I'm not gonna stop doing that. Overall, caffeine and ketones, I'm feeling good, to be honest. Like, I could let this continue. I heard like day 3 is where it really starts to get challenging. So assuming that I'm at 1.0 ketones at this point, and hopefully my blood sugar is lower, I got an issue. We're gonna hopefully end this and then get on with the experiments, and we'll talk about the videos coming up. So let's get our 2 tests going right now. All right, fasted blood sugar 84. I'm telling you, that's pathetic. When I'm way better in ketosis, when I'm more fat adapted, it will get lower than that. And that's why we're not starting off with a real like crazy supplement review for a little bit longer, because I'm not fully there. I have to believe though, I have to believe that I'm at 1.0 or more. 1.0 or more ketones. What in the fuck? Dude. All right, we're gonna continue. I did not expect this. My body is fighting this thing. I am technically in ketosis. I'm waiting until 1.0. We're going for 48 hours. Overall, I do feel good though. My stomach's mildly annoyed, hungry. I honestly like this feeling. I'm not a big eater. This is one of my problems with the keto diet. We're gonna talk about that in another video. I undereat, and it takes when I have ketones rolling around, I'm not hungry. And that's bad in terms of getting your protein in for body composition. I flattened out way too much first time and need to track meticulously. So that's gonna be the whole story here. But first, we're gonna have to get me deeper in. We'll see you maybe another 6 hours. This video just keeps going. Frick, man, that is a, I don't know. I'm like disappointed in myself right now, if that's a possible thing. And all I did last night is 1/4 teaspoon of low salt to get a little potassium and sodium in. I don't think that should have affected anything, but all right, we'll see you in a few hours. All right, it's 43 hours in. It's a little bit past halftime on the Ohio State-Michigan game. We are killing them, and no one expected that. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Urban Meyer, but one person who's worse than him, Harbaugh. So, after years of watching boring QB sneak-based football, it sounds like it's at the end of Urban Meyer's regime, but if it is, he's never lost to Michigan, and that's an epic thing. So we're always gonna have to give him that. Blood sugar, I'm hungry, people. 43 hours, I'm doing this right now because I wanna eat. 75, all right, these are the kind of keto numbers I start to expect after a little bit. I have to believe I'm at 1.0 ketones. I did do some yard maintenance again, no workout, so I guess I'm gonna stick with the no workout thing until I'm in, but overall, doing some high intensity interval training would definitely probably be a way of speeding up this process for anyone who's interested. Give me a 1.0, please. I mean, seriously, let's do this. There we go. All right, we're in. So yeah, like I said, 0.5 is technically in, but 1.0 is where I like to be. Honestly, I do feel good. I am just at this point hungry. I was cooking downstairs for the family and not being able to eat anything. I'm actually okay with that. Not being able to taste test it was annoying. I think we Italians, we like to do a lot of eating on the way, and that was the part I missed. But that's also the part where when we're tracking macros super closely, that kind of stuff adds up when you're just like nibbling here and there and there and there and there. And anyway, we're in. So what we're gonna do is roll into the next video. So the long answer is, I would say, if you are a paleo dieter or a low carber in general, and you're looking to get in ketosis without working out, 30, but somewhere between like 36 and 42 hours, something like that, is probably where it happens for me. And then you're gonna hopefully flush out all your blood sugars, your liver glycogen, your muscle glycogen. You're gonna kind of clear out a little bit, and you probably should do a little bit of salt. I like low salt because it's mostly potassium chloride with the sodium chloride. And that's where I'm at. I didn't really take any multivitamins. I was hoping I'd be faster about it so I could take some multivitamins. So I'm also gonna do that after my little bacon experiment's coming up next. So think about, I would say about a day and a half. If you're training or get a really hard workout in, you might be able to speed things up a little bit. But in general, the answer is, if you're a low carb dieter or a paleo dieter trying to get into true blue ketosis, I'm thinking about 40 hours. There we go. At least for me. This is always for me. But that's a good little, just general rough guideline to do it if you don't want to be like messing around and stuck in no man's land. And that's where I was kind of, what was happening to me for a long time, is I was stuck in like 0.4 to 0.6. That doesn't work for me. I need to be above 0.8. So I just wanted to go full blow, go in, and now let's see what happens to my body when I throw some fats and proteins at it. All right, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, because this is only the beginning of everything. And now we're gonna really start to get better fat adapted and start doing some control experiments, and then start doing the supplement reviews and start building a diet. Stay tuned. Thanks everyone for watching.
Welcome to PricePlow.